Coming through with the strength in you. Dun 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 dun. Coming through with the strength in you. Hey boo. Hey, coming through with the strength in you. What it do, what it do. Coming through with the strength in you. You made it. Good job. Strength in you. Coming through. Strength in you. Coming through. Hey boo.
Hey, boo. Happy Monday. That song, you see how I'm smiling. That song gets me ready for life every Monday. I promise to God. Yeah. Anywho. Let's bring in our queen on the scene. She been missing y'all, but she back. Hey, girl.
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Pretty good. Let's go on here without further ado and bring in our king on the team.
Oh,
What it do? Good morning.
chilling,
Uh,
chilling,
I don't know
chilling
what
on
was
this
that there.
beautiful Monday morning, chilling.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
Jennifer,
Hey,
listen.
Jennifer.
Hey Jennifer, love you, girl. Woo, woo, woo. Hey, boo. Okay, so y'all listen. Season finale. And it's
Woo!
about to be a fun show because it's gonna be a weird show. We're gonna talk about past shows, but we're also gonna talk about things that's kind of taboo for most people. And y'all know taboo are things that is like it's off limits. It's kind of forbidden, like you're not supposed to say. But y'all know I'm crazy. I have zero cares. I was about to say that other word, but zero cares about saying things that I want to say just because it is what it is. We're gonna
I
say what
honestly, with what we're gonna talk about, fuck is not like it's low on this totem pole.
what yeah, but at the same time, the reason why we not cussing so much and we falling back because my mouth is a potty mouth, but we don't want to run off people who may not cuss. Because we want this to be for everybody, not just for our ratchet asses. Because hey, it gets real. But
I do
Okay,
not cuss.
speaking of that, that's gonna come with our next show. See, we're gonna start doing a nighttime show, and it's not gonna be straight talk. It's just gonna be a variation of strengthening you. But that's when all the ratchet is gonna come out on the team, and people gonna get to see what it really is. Cause this is daytime, and it's like daytime television. You know, you gotta be a little censored a little bit for daytime TV. So that's what it is with that part. But before I even go and get into my rant, I just want to know what's your favorite episode. You got a favorite episode? Let's start with you, Wisdom.
I do actually. The episode that we did when we showed what we can do without like with one hand or whatever, like shook hands. It was very informative, and I had a lot of fun on that episode. I learned a lot.
That's our Mimic Monday shows. We're gonna start doing more of
Mimic
those.
Monday.
Mimic Mondays, yes, we're trying to do more of those. And for all of our viewers who are not on YouTube and stuff like that, you get the best experience of this show if you watch it live with the actual video. So we appreciate you listening, but we would love it if you can actually watch it because then you'll get to see us in our raw form with all of our crazy. So yes. But how about you, Courage? What is your favorite episode?
I would say mine would be when we touched a subject that was a little bit deeper, and that was molestation.
Oh,
Mm.
then what made that your favorite?
Well, it's not. I mean, because it's not a favor to talk about something traumatic, but it was something that needed to be outspoken of because you never know how many people are going through it and they're scared to speak out.
Right.
So, I never know who we might have touched or if something was going on in somebody's household that needed to be spoke out of.
Yeah. That makes sense. I can see that because it definitely is a topic that we definitely need to address more often and not in a sad way because it's already a sad topic in itself, but to just show what overcoming looks like and what resilience and strength and courage and wisdom and all these things looks like despite our
Well, it kind of hit me because if anybody ever watched that episode, that my niece was part of and some of the things she was talking about, I was sitting there straight, but in my mind I was like, oh really? Oh, really? That happened? So we had some conversations after the show, like, oh, okay.
I
Shit, we
bet.
gonna find out.
Yeah.
Frank, what was your favorite episode?
You know what? To be honest, all of the episodes is my
All
favorite.
over.
The only reason why
That's such a PC
I know,
answer.
I know it's cliche, but let me just be real.
Yeah.
The only reason why, first of all, you got to understand that intro is all of me. That's my song. I created that, so that song gives me life. So every time that song come on, which each episode, I just be like,
Coming
I
through
get
with the
ready.
strength in you. Dun, dun, dun.
See,
Yes.
you ready? No, no talk. That was one of my. But you know what? If I have to choose, I would say my favorite of all of them would have to be the very first one, which was our August 1st episode. That's the episode where my brother was on,
Mm.
and my brother has mental retardation, so that watching him have the courage to speak and just talk about how he feels, that was just overwhelming for me because I did never had the chance to do that. So that was one of the most amazing shows I had. So yes, that was my favorite. But um, speaking of, since we're talking about favorites, what's your least favorite, Wisdom?
The molestation episode. Like, to be honest, like I was the only dude there, and that was like my first show back after like taking my hiatus,
Uh
and
huh.
it came back to that, and I was like, okay, maybe I should have waited another week. But yeah, it was really informative, and it was really cool that we talked about it. But definitely my least favorite show, just because I was awkward. It was awkward.
You know, that makes sense. Especially
Yeah.
because, like you said, you was the only male, and then molestation is not like a fun topic. So it's like, who wants to sit here and listen to women talk about how things happen to them?
Not me.
To be fair, for all of my audience, for all of our audience, we're doing another molestation show in the second season, but it's going to be with men and women because men experience it just as much as women. And I feel like we don't talk about it enough. And people eyes are shut to men being hurt by women or to other men hurting other men. You know what I'm saying? So I think we can just shine a light on that and let them know that it's okay and that they're safe and that we still love them and they're accepted and all that kind of stuff. So we're definitely gonna touch some topics, y'all, that a lot of people gonna be scared to talk about, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, did she say that?" Hell yeah, we did, but that's what we do. But this episode, not only are we gonna talk about least favorite stuff, but we're gonna talk about some taboo shit, y'all. I mean stuff. Hey James, how you doing, honey?
Hey,
But before I go on with that part, Miss Courage, what was your least favorite episode?
probably the one that I missed.
You don't even know. You
Probably the
ain't even
one.
talking about it's my least favorite because I wasn't on it. So
Yeah.
Thank you. Like I had a lot to say about the sexuality versus the humanity. I had a lot to say. That was my least one.
you get to say what you wanted to say on here. Hey Gina, hey girl, hey girl.
Hey
What's up,
Gina.
Gina? Your name's coming through. I don't know.
We
We
see you,
see
honey
you, Gina.
love. But Trina, what Miss Courage? What would you like to say about the humanity versus sexuality topic?
That we not it's more to it. Like I don't see how people think it's okay for to be accepted as your sexuality when we still fighting for to be accepted by our color, our the thickness of our nose, the thickness of my lip, the texture of my hair. You can't accept me for that, but you can accept me by who I sleep with, who I
Yeah,
choose to love. Nah, you gotta accept me 100. So we ain't even at that level yet to be saying we accept them at that point. It's a lot of things that you have to open up your eyes to.
yeah. So basically, you're in agreement with me and Wisdom that the world is overly focused on sexuality versus humanity. I think she froze. Yeah, girl, just laugh it off. I said, so you are in agreement with me and Wisdom that the world is overly focused on sexuality over humanity. She's so damn silly.
I know it ain't nobody business.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, there's your answer.
Look,
Hey, James.
that's my private
Okay.
business.
James said he agree, y'all.
I know that's right, James. That's our private business.
Right. But yeah, that show, we definitely gonna do another one of those too, because that show had got a lot of attention, because I think a lot of us are in agreement that the world is overly focused on sexuality, because none of that should matter when you're thinking about the heart of a person. Did you have anything else you wanted to shine a light on with that, Wisdom? Because I know that hour went fast and we was getting it in.
Nah, like I think we touched everything that we wanted to. Well, that I wanted to talk about with that episode. Um, I am like curious to see what like some of our watchers think.
Yeah.
I we had a couple of them kind of interact, but I definitely want to see more of our viewers' opinions on some of the topics. Maybe that's
Hmm.
something we can work towards on season 2.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
work towards getting people to say more and actually speak up. But you got to remember too, some people just shy and they don't want to see they don't like to see their name on the screen or whatever. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, we're definitely gonna shine more of a light on that, because that topic is huge, and the world is stuck in what the sex of a person is, and that's just extra stress we don't need. But
Mm-hmm.
speaking of all this sexuality, so okay, hold on, y'all. Let's see what James said. He says, I think to people strangers are always worried about they're gonna take something in a humane way or pervert way. I think I get it. Let me see. I'm gonna read that thing because my stroke is bothering me. Oh,
You know
strangers.
what?
What?
You get what he's saying or no? He's saying that when he talks to strangers, he always has that in the back of his head, where like, oh, are they gonna take this the way I mean it, or are they gonna
Yeah.
take it like I'm a pervert? You
Right.
know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
See, Janice hit the nail on the head. Trigger talkers are hard to participate in. That's
Yeah.
true. They are hard to participate in, but we have to speak up on them, because if we keep pretending like it's not a thing, it's going to continue to happen, and then it's just going to manifest, and it's going to get bigger and bigger, and it's going to just, I don't know, I just feel like it's an overconsumption of things that's irrelevant to people. Like the one thing I want to talk about, I was telling somebody, I was like, technically, if people really think about it, we all probably did it with our family, not being funny, but being funny. We all on some incestual shit. Like, I was like, the cloth is big, right? And I'm just thinking about, like, my family is all, we were born, well, I wasn't born, my family is from Mississippi. And back in those days, slavery wasn't that long ago. Like, let's be clear. And black people was in a little area, you know what I'm saying? So they was kind of confined to this one little space. So it was like all black people are technically kind of cut from the same cloth, but it's just a matter of which part of the cloth are you really from, you know what I'm saying? So, wait a minute. Yes, but that's why we're doing this, honey. We are trying to speak up and make it easier and make it not so cliche to talk about things that impact our everyday life. Like, everyday life situations. Like, for instance, before I even get into the incestual thing, because that's another show, but we are going to talk about it on this show, because I want y'all to know that that's going into our next season. We're going to be going into stuff next season. It's the shows are going to get deeper and deeper, because Joy don't have a filter, okay? And I am unapologetic and free to be me. So that means we're going to talk about things that may make some people be like, oh my God. But it's all
Well,
right.
could you like please define insexual?
Well, well, incestual is actually you having sex with somebody in your family, but we're not gonna go
Oh
that
no.
far. I was just gonna even just talk about sex in general, like as a trauma survivor, as a stroke survivor. Like we are afraid to talk about sex because a lot of people they don't think we like to get it in, but they don't know that we freak nasty. And
They really don't do that.
you listen, this stroke that turned us out.
That is
I'm
extra therapy.
and learning. I speak to a speech therapist because the skill of speaking and being interpreted the way I want to is something I'm still working on. A work in progress. I get you, baby, and it is for all of us. And I think even if
Yes.
you're not a trauma or a stroke survivor, it's important to seek therapy, like whether it's speech therapy or even a counselor, because we say things because we grew up in a household where certain things was probably cool in that household, but outside of that household, it may be seen as disrespectful or whatever. So that's why we learn like interpersonal communication skills and all that kind of stuff because it's real. What y'all feeling, wisdom and courage? Because I'm talking a lot. I like to talk.
Listen, I think I just ruined my Google search and I typed in incest definition. Oh boy. The actual definition, I don't know why the hell I looked this up, but I did. I'm
I was
so
gonna
mad.
say, don't speak it. We're gonna put it on the top on the screen on that show.
He
So
can speak
everybody
it,
will know
bruh.
what it is.
It's all good. They gonna forget what it is. You gonna make me read it? No, you speaking too much. You gotta read it.
It's, it says sexual
Hey,
relations between people classed as being too closely related to marry each other. Another definition is the crime of having sexual intercourse with a parent, child, sibling, or grandchild. Ugh.
none of the people that I really like. So
Doesn't matter. What are we talking about?
We're talking about real life right now, Julia, because some people like to do these things, and we gonna tell them we're not judging you, but you're nasty. Don't be doing that. But
that's
you know,
not right, Damien.
I heard the craziest saying where people be like, after the 12th cousin, it don't count. It's like, look,
And you know
y'all.
what I say to that? Who the hell is the damn 12th cousin? Who gonna sit there and count like you number one, number two, number three?
Somebody real lonely and they can't find nobody.
Oh, I'm glad I took a nap. I'm glad I took a nap.
You
Look,
number 12, so you better watch out.
we're gonna be talking about incest next season. We're gonna be talking about sex because we're gonna talk about that a little bit this season, right now.
Yeah.
This is a thing. And like I said, people think because you go through trauma such as we have with that one side not working, they don't realize that you freaky as hell. So now you got to figure out how to work that one side that ain't working. And I figured out the best way to do it is to spoon.
Oh yeah.
Let me Google spoon.
Oh god.
You
Listen.
know, some of us don't know.
James, like,
Let
I'm
me
not at
Google.
it. Y'all tripping.
Peace out.
No, but that's a good way. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about was not the molestation show, the expectation show.
That, what was that one again? Remind me.
Expectation. You having more expectations for yourself than you do in other people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that show meant something to me because oftentimes we do put too much emphasis or um too much stress on doctors and nurses and all these other people. Look, that's a fact. My numb side is my best stroke.
I know that's right, cause I shoot that side get to working.
Yes, James, turn
I
up,
read
baby.
I read that and I was like, nah, not James. And then I read it again. I was like, damn it, James.
But it's a thing. Listen, I had to learn how to re-ride. I figured out how to do that.
You did.
I did, girl. I think I'm gonna try to
Shit, I
teach.
didn't know before the stroke, so I mean,
Don't tell nobody that you didn't know how to sit on no pipper before your stroke.
Mm.
Wisdom is
hey,
so uncomfortable now. He don't know how to.
You see me get red? I don't get red because I'm dark, but I'm getting red right now.
I feel like we
what?
should do a show where we talk about toys and what they do and explain things and talk about
Well,
positions.
that wasn't the problem, George. The problem is
Oh my god!
What's the problem, girl? What's the problem? Let's talk about it.
the, the problem is this is a full woman right here. This ain't no halfway woman right here. So
Oh, okay, James.
I'm gonna get off now. He done shut me up.
You know what? But see, again, this is stuff that's not as taboo to
I
us,
was
but it's real life. Some people just enjoy that part because you know what? Sometimes, listen, before the stroke, I was great at it. Now my jaws hurt. Not eating kitty because that's not what I'm talking about, but polishing the knob. That's what I'm.
Mm.
It was good, but now my face start hurting real fast. But I figure out the
yeah,
more practice that I get,
that's face exercise to keep you from drooling. Tighten up your muscles.
Y'all ain't shit. You know that? Y'all ain't shit.
Why?
I don't know because I was
talk
just,
about all this. Like I come to this show. I feel like I'm on an hour-long Strokes of Humor show. Like, what the hell?
I told you
hey,
this is
this
the finale. It
this
was
is
gonna
the
be fun.
season finale. We have to go out with a bang.
Right, and then they gotta get
Yeah,
ready for the next season.
literally,
So they'll know
literally.
we coming in hot.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, so so we want
I'm
y'all.
done. I'm done. I
I
told
want,
you James showed me up, so
I
I'm just
want
over
all
here
y'all
quiet.
info, not y'all info. Listen, everybody who watching this and listening to this, I need your advice. I need your comments and your feedback. If you think we should have a show that talk about sex and talks about toys and talks about more of the deeper parts of stroke on a young level, because older people don't have the same problems we got. So we can talk about it because some of us still like to get it, like the anals and all them things. So we're gonna have to
Like
talk
what?
about you
Wait a
heard
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. What you just said? Did I just hear right or am I hearing wrong? Sometimes I can't hear right.
Oh my god.
That ain't that ain't got nothing to do with the stroke part, cause
well, you gotta be able to hold yourself up.
huh?
You just lay on your stomach and take it in the dude.
What that might make me walk straight. Shit.
Wisdom. Are you okay? Give us a little wisdom.
Oh Lordy. I'm learning too much today.
So the
Yeah.
whole point of this show is to remind y'all to be a little fearless and to be unapologetic. Talk about the things you want to talk about. Let's not just be in fear and be like, we can't say this and don't say that. No, fuck. I mean,
I told you it was gonna come out.
it is gonna come out.
We
And
can't say this
at
and
least
we
the
can't
people
say that.
at least the people who don't curse will see that I'm trying my best because this filter is non-existent, but I'm trying to reel it in.
Y'all turned James out, boy. I'm
I
telling you.
know. Can I see that comment again?
Man, she about to come through with the come through. He like to do what? Wait a minute. He said, wait a minute. I'm a freak before my stroke, and now I'm a crazy freak. That's what I'm trying to talk about, James. I'm trying to tell you since this stroke happened, I be stroke twerking on all. Listen, it is
We
the
just look, Wilson. We just gonna let them take the show because I ain't telling all my secrets.
don't tell all your secrets. I just said I be stroke twerking on stuff. I didn't
You-
say
she
how
say on stuff.
What other stuff can you?
faces, sticks, pose. Like,
Go ahead.
okay, okay. But what I'm saying is,
We just be embarrassing. You just be look at Poe
don't be
Wilson.
embarrassed. This is a normal part of life, y'all. A
It
freak
is.
I'm not.
lives in every one of us. There's an inner freak living in each one of us, ready to come out. And it just takes the right person to bring it out. And
I'm
like I
not
said
embarrassed.
on season 2, the things that's gonna come out of woodworks that you wasn't expecting, because you're gonna be like, "Ooh, they supposed to be stroke survivors." Yeah, we all kind of survivors, because and it's about to be lit though. For
I
Oh
ain't
my
dead.
god.
that girl said, "I ain't dead. I don't move like it either." Even though, listen, when it first happened, that left side of it, I couldn't feel it like that.
Nah, it just be shaking.
Oh, it just be shaking. You
Yeah.
see the
Yeah, your leg just be shaking, you know. That's that nerve trying to come back.
yeah, he
Oh
say,
no.
"I need sex rehab." Why you need sex rehab if you ain't going out and taking it from people? You good as long as you ain't out there disrespecting the kitty.
I'm
You
just, I'm just so speechless.
I don't
why
want to
not?
know. I
Look,
feel
look
like
at.
that's like I don't want to know if he needs rehab. Keep it on the low.
I don't think nobody needs sex rehab if they being respectful to the genitals. Okay, now sex is a beautiful thing, and again, it shouldn't be taboo. So y'all should stop being embarrassed. I see the fluster all over y'all.
Listen, I did not think we were going to talk about all of this today. I would have mentally prepared myself more.
Yeah.
He like, I would have
I'm-
smoked some weed.
Yeah, I would have got nice and right for this episode. I would have been like, go ahead, talk about whatever.
That's why it
if
was
you,
called taboo. The show is called Taboo for who? Because we talking about it all. Anything that any of y'all want us to talk about, go ahead and throw it in the comments, and we're gonna talk about it because that's what we do.
and
Except
just because we talk about it, don't mean that's what we. Well, let me speak for myself. That's what we actually do. I had to rechange that when I looked up at Joy.
I'm girl, listen, I'm glad you know because I'm glad that over these past few years I've gotten better and I no longer grate nothing with my teeth. I've improved and now I can do it the right way. These are beautiful things. They occur with practice. So as we always talk about in every show, everything takes practice. Even talking about things that's not necessarily comfortable all the time. Wisdom takes practice.
Wisdom.
Why you calling
Take,
me out?
Cause
it
you
takes
you haven't
practice.
said much the whole show. Cause you've been
Listen,
wrong.
I just typed in incest on my phone. We're good.
So that was only one thing we talked about. All the multiple things we've talked about.
Listen, I don't practice sucking dick, right? So I don't know what you're talking about. I do practice eating the kitty, like James said.
Well, that'll be the part you will speak from. Only that standpoint.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm sorry, I can't speak on no points.
What you
why?
yeah, you can.
No, I can't.
It I gotta talk, you gotta talk, Courage.
Facts.
Ooh, he just put me out there, didn't he?
He told you what he
Yup.
told you when he told you how he told you what he told you.
When he told me,
Speak on.
Mm.
speak on
You
it.
want to know if you spit? Never mind. We ain't gonna get nasty like that. But
I know.
no, but this whole other thing is to be reminded, y'all. Everything really does take practice, though. Every show we've ever had, that's one of the things we kept like reiterating. Everything takes practice. Nothing will come easy to you. Even the power of positivity is not gonna just come to you. Things gonna happen. Soon as you say I'm gonna be positive, life gonna throw something at you to see if you really gonna be positive. And then it's
And
up to
you
you.
will. Right?
You say what, boo?
I say you will fail, but then you
Somebody
got to get yourself back together. I mean, it's
fact.
hard. It's hard to say I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna stay positive, and then something hit you, and all negative just come, and you fall. You have to lift yourself back up and say, "Hey, I need to get rid of that. You can't stay here. You got to
Right.
go."
And it's all about the choices you make. That's all life is. It's a bunch of choices, a series of choices that we make them. And sometimes you don't get a choice, but then it's about your perspective of what happened to you and how you're gonna handle what happened. So that was another one of our shows we did that I love that we did because perspective is a mug. And depending on how you see things will determine how you can grow from the thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
How you-
does.
Okay. Good. I know one of the things I wanted to address too. I don't know if we had a chance to talk about it all season, but I know we're gonna talk about it next season, and that's losing friends. I know
Mm.
as survivors of trauma, a lot of people feel like they lost friends when they go through what they go through because you lose people, but then you start to realize these weren't really your friends anyway. So you just really lost unnecessary weight. You lost unnecessary stress, and then you start to. I know me personally. I've been finding my friends through like support groups and through going through stroke stuff. Like I've been
Yeah.
finding my bestest friends. So I would just say when it comes to stuff like that, like people show you who you are when you're going through something.
Yeah, I want to touch on that subject. As stroke survivors, right? We go through what we go through, and then you kind of find out who your real friends are, right? The ones who stick through you, stick with you rather. You don't have to like see them every day or talk to them every day, but the people who reach out, hey, how you doing today? Are you doing okay? Like those are your real friends. Like you said, losing that unnecessary weight. Like we have this like image in our head, like, oh, this person has to reach out because that person wasn't really your friend, really. When you're up, if they're around you when you're up, anybody can do that. It's those people who are there with you when you're down. Those are your real friends. So, um, I agree. Like a lot of like my closest friends now are in this community because we understand. We know what it is, and we go through this every single day. Like there's no days off with the stroke.
Facts. And even if they're not stroke survivors, I know I'm met like even when I'm in a grocery store and people see me shopping, I guess they're used to people, I don't know, wanting to help with everything, but they see me and I got my little hand and I'm picking up the big ass bottled waters, and they're like, "You need my help?" And I'm like, "No, I got it." But then, like, it does something for them. Then they want to swap info, and then they want to be like my friend because it's like, oh, she trying. You know what I'm saying? She not woe is me. So I would just say I encourage you to just keep doing your thing and don't worry about the people who remove themselves. They did you a favor. How you feel about that, Kirby? What you gotta say?
Don't just look into your friends. Also, family members can be the same way. Also, you have to come in. You have to realize that your situation is not their situation. Just because you had to stop don't mean that their life's gonna stop. You have to just be thankful for the little time that they do give you and say, I'm grateful and I'm thankful for that. But they still have a life that they need to live.
Absolutely. That's really good advice. Because
Mm-hmm.
people think because you know we family, you're supposed to take care of me, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. But life didn't stop for them. You know,
Yeah.
life technically didn't stop for us either. It's just us at a standstill. You know what I'm saying? But life don't stop. Time keeps going. So it's up to you to keep going through time. You know what I'm saying? Like don't just sit back and just expect um people to be there for you, whether it's friends or family. But like we said, people remove themselves sometimes, and that is really just easier for you. You don't have to weed them down and figure out who's for you or who against you. Like they did you a favor when you reached out to them, but they never responded. Like they let you know. And when somebody show you who they are, just believe them.
Believe them.
Don't be over there trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Everybody don't need the benefit of the doubt. They showed you who they was. Just believe it. It ain't gonna always like feel good because we human, we get hurt, we got feelings, whatever. But again, life don't stop. It's just keep going.
One thing I found out, and I'm realizing now,
Mhm.
you will get exhausted trying to chase and put yourself in people's lives. If you got to chase them, it ain't worth to let them go. If you constantly calling them every day, and they not responding, let it go. Because after a while, that's gonna hurt you more than it help
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Facts.
Absolute facts. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on, give me a second. Y'all talk about it for a second. My cousin texted me and he in the hospital, so I gotta
Mm.
you.
reply.
No, I agree, courage. Like there's like chasing other people, wanting them in your life. Ultimately, if they're not reciprocating and they're not giving you the same energy back, ultimately it hurts you more than it hurts them. They don't give a shit, you know. Like
Yeah.
life goes on, well, regardless, and those people who want to be in your corner are gonna make themselves available to you, whether that's a little bit or a lot, you know. So
Right.
be grateful for what you do have, and those people who decide like that they no longer want to be in your life, like toss them to the birds, you know. Like save your own sanity, right? Like
Yeah.
save yourself from that stress because one thing that we don't do is handle stress very well. So
No.
um you know the least amount of stress the better. So if that person's not gonna give you any grace or provide any positive reinforcement in your life, like the door's that way, you know, you saw yourself in, see your way out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is facts. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But I know another thing that I want to talk about that's gonna go into our next season is what grinds your gears and um the pressures of being handicapable. Because that I wanted to talk about this time just because y'all know that's one of the things I live by. I'm handicapable. But in being handicapable, people forget that I'm still a pro survivor. There are still things that's just hard for me to do. So they be like, "Well, you handicapable, okay, but that don't mean I don't need no help." Like
Yeah.
y'all go through that to where people feel like, well, because you handicapable, we ain't gonna help you with this, or we ain't gonna even try just because you feel like you're capable of something.
Yeah. I go through people not realizing that, or some people may think just because, oh, you had a stroke, you at home, you did like. it's a vacation. This not no vacation. We still have to deal with what we go through during our stroke, during our recovery, plus everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no, we have double on us.
Right.
Triple really because we trying to do things, just normal things, and we got a half a body that feels 10 pounds heavier than the other side. So we get tired quick. Or
Hmm.
it's just some things that we go through every single day that other people don't realize.
Yeah.
And they think it's easy, and it's not easy. No, it's not easy.
Perfect example. Today, I did one load of laundry, and that's gonna take me all day to fold, put the clothes away, and like I have a day that like I feel good today. So I'm gonna clean my bathroom. I'm gonna do like my chores that I usually like spread out through the week and knock them out all one day because I'm gonna be tired as hell tomorrow from all the energy I spent today. And the same went for this weekend. Saturday was a lot of activity. It was my mom's birthday, so I went to be present, and the kids came over. It was a lot of things going on in the house. And Sunday, I was wore out. I was wore out. It's not necessarily a vacation like Courage says. I have to do the most just to be around. Like on Thursday for Thanksgiving, we went out, and I was so tired on Friday. I didn't want to do anything because getting dressed, like looking your best, going and putting up, you may not feel good necessarily, but life goes on. Like Thursday was Thanksgiving for everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you are not feeling good or not. You had to go and make the effort, and that takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So it's safe to say DNA runs all of our gears. When people forget,
Mhm.
well, see, some people don't live by handicap. Some people cool with saying they disabled. I'm not
Yeah.
cool with that personally. So I think people who are
No,
around me have gotten so used to me going off on them if they call me disabled or handicapped that now they used to it to the point where it's like you're not none of that. So you can do everything on your own. But it's like, no, I can't. I still need help. And technically, I can do it. It just hurts more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why make me go through the extra stress with this hand by itself if you can just put in a little bit of extra effort and give me a little help? You know what I'm saying? So that bothers me.
I don't like when people put a title on me or label me. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. If someone, as they consider normal, need help with lifting something, they don't think twice about it. Oh, they need me to help them. But me, if I need that same help, oh, she need help because she disabled. No, I need help because I'm human, and it just be easy with two people.
Right,
Don't just label everything on me as because you know what I done went through.
right. I hate that people see me and they think just because, this body is the way it is that I ain't got no devil with me. And they be like, you can't do that. Girl, you don't know me. Like, I done jumped out that damn plane. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, boo? But I be skinny dipping sometimes. I ain't ashamed to be in front of people with this body all broke up. They be like shocked because again, that's another taboo. They
Wait,
think,
wait, 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 wait. Time out. You skinny dip in front of people?
yeah.
I told you.
But anyway, that's another
We
one of
don't
them
know what's
taboo
gonna come
things.
out.
That's one of them taboo things, though. They think because number one that I'm a stroke survivor, that I number one shouldn't be doing it. Then number two, I look like I look, and most of us don't do stuff like that. But I'm not most of us. So yeah, yes, Jeff.
I know
That's
because
one person.
I went up
What?
in this store yesterday.
Uh huh.
I went up in Cindy's. Everybody know what Cindy's is, right?
No.
No.
It's a adult store, but they sell
Okay.
lingerie and everything. First of all, you looking at me crazy because they think healthy women ain't supposed to dress sexy, I guess. Then they looking at me because I'm walking with a cane, but like I'm still me. I'm a stroke survivor. I still like to put my wigs on, my makeup on, my earrings on. When I step out, I still like to look good.
I know that's right. That's funny.
You
You talking about the sex store, girl? I didn't went up in the store. I told the lady, I said, "Now listen, lady, this how I'm talking to her too." I say, "Now listen, lady, I done had this stroke and I like to stroke, so I need you to give me something for my throat."
know.
And that lady
well,
was like, she was like, "Well, all right then."
I got you
well,
covered, boo.
I didn't say I was there, but
That's good. See, you probably was low key kind of still embarrassed. Oh, hey y'all. So without further ado, we got a special guest today, and he gonna kind of talk about. He gonna touch on that subject we talked about with sexuality versus humanity.
Uh,
So let's bring him in. We can't see you, but watch out, TV is loud too. Wait, he said what? What is that? Were we really thinking, or are you projecting?
Hello.
what up?
Hello,
hello.
Hello, everybody.
how you
My head
doing,
looking out
sugar?
loud. What's going on? How's
Yeah,
everybody
you look
doing?
cute.
Good,
I'm
good.
fine. How are you?
I can't complain.
Tell everybody your name.
I'm Sean.
And is it a certain thing besides the humanity versus sexuality that you want to touch on today?
Absolutely. So, as far as my take on humanity and sexuality, I think that society puts a label on sexuality in general. And we have to understand that sexuality is always a taught behavior, whether it's heterosexual, bisexual, homosexual, it is a taught behavior. And and I honestly think that we teach it too early, unconsciously and subconsciously, not knowing that sexuality is taught early on, and children can only take on what they've been taught, and that's whether it's subconsciously or consciously knowing. We don't typically we don't typically look at it or view it in that sense. Um, for my case, I am a homosexual. I have been around predominantly heterosexual family all my life, and as far as my description or why I would even say I'm homosexual, I think that early on for me, that it was kind of taught for me in a sense, and a lot of my friends and a lot of people say to me that I'm a walking contradiction because a lot of people believe that being a homosexual is not something that's taught or learned, but it's something that you were born with. And we tend to forget that life itself is a choice. You always have a choice. Just because it's something that you feel doesn't mean that you necessarily have to act on. And that's where beliefs and things like that come about. And not to say that homosexuality is wrong, because it's not, because everybody has a choice.
Right.
But sexuality is taught at an early age, and we don't even realize it from TV, even from what we listen to, um, So you have to be mindful of what you subject, yourself to, and even your children, because it's all taught and it's all a choice. You have a choice of what you want to be, and you have a choice of what you're being subject to. So when it does come to sexuality in society, it's all a taught behavior and it's all a choice.
Well, many people of your in your community will probably differ or like to differ with that because they feel like they were born that way. They don't feel like they had the option to choose what they wanted to be.
And this
Well,
is true, but then that's when we come into character, because
okay.
there's a difference between character and and sexuality as well. Just because you're a homosexual doesn't mean that that's your character and who you are. And people, we don't know how to distinguish the two.
Hmm.
I have always been a flamboyant male, and that's my character and who I am. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that has to be my sexuality, because you have some men that aren't as masculine, but it doesn't mean that they're homosexual.
Right.
Mhm.
You understand? So there is a difference between the two.
Absolutely. So again, that just proves that you also agreeing with us that the world is overly consumed with sexuality versus your humanity, which is your character,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and they
Which is,
don't distinguish the two.
yeah, yeah, most definitely. And I think from my case, being around predominantly, uh, well, we have more women in our family than we do men. And me being, well, in my generation, for a long time, I was the youngest male.
Mm.
So I was shiny whiny, shiny poo poo. I was always around women.
Hmm.
Conversation that women typically have. Girl, my husband, my man, and we didn't did this, so we gotta go here, and I gotta make sure my husband has this. So in my mentality, subconsciously knowing, I'm thinking I gotta go out and get me a man.
Right. That makes sense.
I gotta go out because this is what it's about or whatever. And I have brothers and things like that who grew up in the same household, but the exposure and the personality and the character was completely different. And that's what shapes and mold and what we don't understand. So your character also aids to what you prefer and what you like.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So say
Hmm.
that you have more what's the word I'm looking for? Say if you're more a manly man, let's say in layman's terms, okay? You're a manly man, so you
Were you
I'll
thinking
take
about the word testosterone?
more testosterone. Yeah, there we go. Thank you so much.
You're
More
welcome.
testosterone. So you're gonna tend to gravitate towards more manly things, maybe sports, women and things like that, versus myself, who I took an interest in more creative things, such as I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I do hair. I also I love to sew. I also like to sing. Sports have never been my thing. So then with those preferences, who mostly are in those type of industries, or who mostly do those things, so then you gravitate towards those things and you start to take a liking to those things and what those people actually like,
Yeah.
subconsciously not knowing or consciously knowing.
Yeah.
And that's when preference also comes about, and we have preference when it comes to sexuality. So it all ties in together. But yeah, that's my take on it.
I like that take, and I agree with it 100%, and it makes so much sense.
Yes.
That just means we're gonna also have to have another one of those shows, part two, y'all, in season two. We got to have Sean as a guest because you'll be coming from a different standpoint because we're all heterosexual, and then you're homosexual. So then it's a different standpoint, a different view. So that way, it's open to everybody, and get perspectives from all sides of the spectrum. So I hope you are open to that, Sean or Shawnee one.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Do y'all have any questions that y'all want to ask Sean? We got a good 5 minutes left.
Not really. I think he hit on the nail. Like as far as like what the percepted reality of what we live in, right? So, like him defining like his humanity and his character against his sexuality, like there's a abrupt difference in both things. I agree with the whole point of like not being as masculine but still being heterosexual. Um, I have moments like that where I'm a little feminist, right? Like not feminist, but I'm one touch with my emotions or whatever. Where like normally as a guy that would be frowned upon or um that's not the guy thing to do, right?
Right,
But but that doesn't define who I am sexually.
right,
Obviously, I love females, so um, there's a distinct characterization in both, and I definitely want to talk more about this in another episode in season two. I think that's gonna be a great topic to talk about.
I just wanted to even just tag on that because we still see that even in homosexuals, you have some men that are more masculine. That's when you have the difference between tops and bottoms, births, and birth. You have different categories. Even with lesbians, um, you have a fem, you have a stem, and then you have studs. So
Wait a minute. Now you just gave me three. Wait a minute.
yes,
That's gonna be
I'm
another episode. We're gonna talk
another
about all of it.
another episode, but that also ties back into society. We always want to be a part of a group, and then being a part of a group, we always want to identify with something.
Mhm.
Always want a label to something, and that's why you have different categories in such a thing. You know what I mean? And even in heterosexual relations, you might have a domineering partner, you know? So it's just what society, when it comes to sexuality, society is so comfortable with labels and identification. Period. In general, we always want to classify or put what box do I fall in? What category do I fall in? And it all just comes to that when it shouldn't be at all. When it all just boils down to we're just people, and we
Right,
all have a need and a necessity of life. I mean, sex is a part of who we are. We have to scratch that itch that's itching. You know what I mean? Everybody needs it, or well, not say everybody needs it, but everybody wants it or whatever. But we put it in labels and categories, which I think shouldn't be at all. Which it goes to a division. And America itself has that problem of
right,
individualizing or to draw a definitive line between what is and what's not, and what's right and what's wrong, and things like that. So,
I agree with that 100%. You got anything you want to say, Miss Courage?
Um, I'm gonna try to put this the right way. This is what I'm trying to get to say. Me meeting you the first time, I don't want to have to be concerned about the first thing I think. Oh, I should like him because of his sexuality. I want to get to know his spirit. It's hard. So I want to like him for him, not who he, what he choose to do as his other partner, or that shouldn't even be a concern of what how we approach people or how we accept people. That's my main thing. Is like no, because you can dislike a person by something that you shouldn't even be worried about and not really truly know them. That could be the best person you ever met in your life.
Mhm.
And then there's a category for that. You know what I mean? Then we get into pansexual because that's ultimately what I just found out. That's what that is. You know, learning or loving a person for the content of their heart and not necessarily their gender, because now we have transgenders, you know, and things like that. And spilling into that whole different variations or whatever. But it's a label for that. That's called a pansexual for
Yeah.
learning
See,
something.
see,
Nope, nope,
all
no,
these
nope,
labels.
nope, 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 nope. We will not. We will not. I love y'all so much. We're gonna start this next season. We're gonna bring this on the same topic because it's a powerful topic. We're about to change the game. But
Mhm.
I love y'all, and I'm gonna tell you like I always tell you: put that crown on, put your lantern in that crown, turn that light up, let that light radiate over your body, let only positive things in. Anything negative gonna bounce back. You ain't accepting that. You love by the best when you're down, ain't nowhere else to go but up. Keep fighting and striving for what you want. And until next time, my honey loves, we'll holla back.
Peace out.